Vedanta, Life and Art of Living. In the present age of the atheist and the secular, we have developed the ability to question, and we daringly do so. We don't accept the declarations made by our wise prophets. Our awareness is highly developed. We have high regard for precision and scientific logical reasoning. However, we have weak faith. If we find arguments intellectually logical and scientific, we are even prepared to walk on our heads. Science does continuous research and its conclusions change with the discovery of new data. Similarly, our religious methods keep changing. If religion doesn't change with time, the society will not stop but grow around the old beliefs. In case the scriptures don't change, they choke themselves. Vedanta has so far served all the growing demands of men. Our impression about Vedanta is that it brings to our mind Adi Shankaracharya and his controversial discussions and vehement assertions that the ideas preached by Vedanta are by strange type of men who lived an unnatural life of seclusion in the jungle, a life of self-denial and sufferings, and are miscalculated due to psychological setbacks. A little investigation shows that the peculiarities seen are similar to those observed in our own current day scientists, poets, artists, and musicians. During the work and study, they lose sight of time or eating and sleeping. They get so involved in their work or passion so as to experience a self forgetfulness. They have no demands for basic rights and are involved in their self centered pursuits. For any sacred vocation, solitude and detachment are the unavoidable necessities. Among those who strived, the ones who trained themselves to use the instruments of mind and intellect and make independent valuations of life received the sacred conclusions from the religious masters. They became the dispensers of the knowledge as they knew the effects upon individual persons under different conditions. It is the common experience of all that life is a continuous series of experiences and that no one will continue to live without experiencing. When the experiencing stops, the individual is considered dead. The individual starts decaying till the body crumbles to become the very elements of which it is made. Through experience, man wants to gain perfection for peace and happiness. He makes changes in the arrangement of things to create new patterns and circumstances with hope that it will bring about a greater happiness or a fuller happiness deeper than before. All experiences are possible in the world of objects known as the realm of the experienced. Better understanding of the world will result in a better relationship with the objects. With correct understanding, there will be less chances of disillusionment and despair. In our hasty misunderstanding of the life of things and beings, we make a wrong estimate and suffer consequently in our experience. Our religious masters feel sorrowful for us and appeal to us to make right estimate of the objects. Teachers of Vedanta from the heights of their personal experience declare that the world is unreal. They, as our well wishers, want us to make a healthy reinterpretation of the world to correct our misunderstanding. However, they are accused to be teachers of indifference to the sorrows of the world. This criticism is unjust, made by those who are interested in this blasphemy. They are admired by the simple and unintelligent ones.